Hey guys, it's Tim and this is Wrestling Unlimited as it's Monday, and that means tonight was Monday Night Raw. And just like a lot of Raws have been recently, I will say this was a good Raw and very easy to watch. I felt like it flew by. I felt like the pacing was really good. It flowed really well, so that's positive. It was a very good, easy to watch show. What I didn't like about the show, though, was they told us multiple times, we're like 3 weeks away from from Crown Jewel, and set up really nothing for that show. We got 2 matches, and I get it. I know what you're going to say. Well, WWE shows only have 5 matches anyway, so they got to take their time. And let me see. How long do we actually have till this show? Let's see. Crown Jewel is on the 11th, and we have 2.5 weeks. It's not this weekend, not the following. So it's 2 weeks from this Saturday. So we've got 2 more Raws and 3 SmackDowns to set stuff up. So not a lot of time, to be completely honest, to set stuff up for this upcoming PLE. And have you guys seen the time that this show is starting? Have you seen what time Crown Jewel will be starting? Let me pull up the poster for Crown Jewel. Let's pull this poster up here on the screen and show you what time Crown Jewel starts. Holy crap. And remember, it's one of them Australia shows. Well, as we see here, and it says it right down here, Saturday, October 11th, 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 a.m. Pacific. This show is starting at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Because, again, it's Saudi time. Not Saudi time, sorry. It's Australia time. So it's like when we watch those New Japan shows, you gotta watch them late or early, depending on when they're starting. I think this is starting, like, prime time in Australia. New Japan shows usually start at, like, 5, 6, late afternoon, early evening. So, yeah, it's going to be an early one. And I can probably guarantee, I can guarantee that we probably won't be able to do a SmackDown review that week, the day before. Because if SmackDown is basically at the same time, I'll be working. So, it depends. We got to see exactly how that's going to air. We'll be able to do a SmackDown review at some point that Friday. I will say that. Because Fridays I do get off early. And yeah, we'll figure it out. There will be a SmackDown review now that I think about it. I just don't know what time I'm going to actually be able to watch that SmackDown. Because, let me see. Let me go to WWE's website and look at the schedule. Because there's a SmackDown from Perth. Let's just pull this up. Go to WWE's website. Let's go to tickets. Check the schedule. That would be what, the 10th? SmackDown the 10th in Perth. It says 7:30 p.m. But that's 7:30 their time. So that would be okay. So if we look at this show, 7:30 p.m., and then we look at this show, 7:30 p.m. So essentially, it's the same time. SmackDown will be airing live on Netflix at 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. And then, excuse me, and then it'll be, probably live at regular time on the USA Network. So we'll play it by ear. We'll do a review. Now that I think about it, I could do that review because especially Fridays with my new job. Fridays we get off at 2 every week. And then I can come home, watch that 2-hour SmackDown. Actually, it'd be faster than 2 hours because I won't have to watch commercials. And then do that review probably even before it goes live on the USA Network or airs on the USA Network. So we'll figure it all out. We'll keep you guys abreast and updated. Abreast, probably not the right word there. Keep you updated, but now that I think about it, I will be able to do a SmackDown review. I wasn't thinking like we would have been able to do it regardless. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm just thinking I wouldn't be able to do it right after the show, soon as the show ends, if you know what I mean. So with all of that, flip this back over here. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, help us out over on YouTube. You can help us out by hitting that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live. And that way you know when we post to the community tab. Also, remember, if you want to support us in another way, you can do so by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get, as a channel member, you get access to, you get a badge next to your name, emotes and emojis that you can use in the live chat. You also get a, how do I say it? You also get you get access to our graphics packages, graphics tutorials, and so much more. I'm coming up with a new idea that I might do a video series on, like not series, but like new short form podcast deal for members only. It's going to be probably non-wrestling related. I got an idea. Maybe like on my 30-minute drives to work, I film something and then put it up for channel members and Patreon subscribers. Would you guys be interested in that? Maybe even Monday through Friday, daily, non-wrestling, little short form podcast for members. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that. We could talk wrestling if there's a lot of wrestling to talk about and stuff. You know, if there's something that I just really want to talk about wrestling-wise. But then maybe we don't talk wrestling. We talk video games. Maybe we talk, entertainment things with movies or TV shows and whatnot. And I got some ideas here. Maybe we give you guys a new video series that's non-wrestling related if you subscribe as a channel member. I mean, I'm making this, 30 to 35 minute drive every morning to work. So why not film something? I'll be driving, but I'm not looking at the camera or anything. I'll put the mic on the shirt. And then as I'm driving, just record it. So maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll do one or two this week as like a test run and then see if I like it and go from there. But with all of that, also remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. Also, speaking of, Kevin says, talking about movies. Yeah, next big movie that I'm going to be seeing in theaters and we'll probably be talking about here on the channel, it's The Rock Smashing Machine. That movie comes out, was it October 3rd? So I'll go see that in theaters, talk about that. And then I think the next one after that I'm going to go see is The Running Man with, what's his name? I can picture his face. Who's in The Running Man again? Glenn Powell. That's who it is. That movie looks like it's going to be great. And it looks like it's going to be one of those, you got to go see it in theaters movies. Just the way the world looks and everything, it looks like it's going to be one of those, you got to go see it in theaters movies. But also remember, if you want to support us, you can do so by heading over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Now, if you haven't gotten the Battle Pass yet for Fortnite, Megazord's available. The Dragon Zord's available. So you may want to jump in and unlock those. We're going to be playing tomorrow night. And probably, no, not Wednesday. Wednesday, we're going to do a different game. Because remember, starting this week and going forward, we're not going to be doing AEW Dynamite reviews per se. Instead, we're going to be doing game stream watch-alongs. And I'm going to put up a poll tomorrow probably and ask you guys what game we should be playing for the first game of this new series I'm going to be doing. Basically, we're watching AEW and we're playing a game at the same time. And they're games that I've played before, so I don't have to be super enthralled in the game. I can still pay attention to AEW on the other screen and stuff, but it's either going to be whatever you guys want from Spider-Man 2, Uncharted 4, or The Last of Us 2. No Tron Ares. I'm not really interested in Tron Ares. I've seen the other Tron movies and they didn't really catch me. They really didn't. The Tron movies didn't catch me. I'd rather go see in November Zootopia 2, if you know what I mean. Like, that's a Disney movie that I'm excited for. Zootopia 1, amazing movie. Amazing movie. Zootopia 2, for sure we'll be seeing that. Probably day one. I don't know. It just depends. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. With that, though, as far as Raw does go, Monday Night Raw comes on the air. They're in Evansville, Indiana. Out comes, well, first they get, we get the new Then Now Forever Together Forever video. And then we got WrestlePalooza recap. Then we see The Vision and Stephanie Vaquero and her dad and the New Day Grayson Waller. Excuse me, trying not to burp right in the mic. Bailey, LA Knight. They all arrive at the building. When LA Knight comes in, you see Rusev kind of bullying Dom because he wants the IC title. Excuse me, now I got the hiccups all of a sudden. Oof. Joe Tetstor and Wade Barrett are the commentary team. Wade Barrett is back after coming back this past weekend for WrestlePalooza. And out comes the WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. And they make it known it is official for Crown Jewel, for the Men's Crown Jewel Championship. Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion, for Seth Rollins, the World Heavyweight Champion. So Cody comes out. He talks about being the inaugural Crown Jewel champion. He says, I got 9 other digits. I'd love to put a ring on one of them. But before he can say anything else, out comes Seth Rollins. Rollins and the Vision make their way down to the ring. Rollins said the Crown Jewel. He's had it circled on his calendar since they both walked out of SummerSlam with the titles. Two of the best in the world in their primes going 1-on-1. He said, well, may the best man win. At least it should be that simple. But it isn't. It's deeper than that and bigger than that. Rollins knew what everyone, the fans, the wrestlers, everybody thought about this. But he didn't give a damn. The fans didn't know what was good for them. Rollins wanted to know what Rhodes thought of him, though. Rhodes said that Rollins has recently made some questionable choices, aligning himself with Paul Heyman and the other goons. And Heyman's like, me? A goon? I'm not a goon. He said, but Rollins, you changed my life. Rollins, you changed my life because you made what I did capable. You fought me in Hell in a Cell, and with that injury, you helped me see what I am capable of. And you helped change my life and career by being my shield at WrestleMania 40 and helping me bring this title to my family. Rhodes knew that this is Pro Wrestling 101 and I should be running you down, hyping up our match and talking crap, but I won't do that. Because I want you to know that I think that you are one of the best, maybe even the absolute best in this business today. But this version of you that's been running around right now, this ain't it. Rollins then pointed out the watch that he is wearing, the watch that Cody gave him for being in that match at WrestleMania. He said, this is the first time I've ever even worn it. And Rollins wondered if this was a real gift or a token gesture because Rhodes was fantastic at saying the right thing at the right time, doing the right thing when it's time to do things. He said, but only when it suited him to do so as well. Rhodes undermined everything that Rollins stands for. Rollins said to the Vision, we're not goons. And Heyman's over there going, yeah, see, I'm not a goon. Heyman's just, yeah, really good, really good. He said, this is me setting up the future of this business, and this is only the tip of the spear. You could be here and be part of it, but know that this is the future. Basically, Rollins is saying, this is my version of evolution. He said, Rhodes could be the quarterback of his WWE. Because apparently, even though you say I could be the best in the world, you say, and I have said multiple times, that you're the only one that's actually suitable and capable to be QB1 in the face of this industry. He said, so what is it? Do you think I'm really good enough and the best? Or are you just blowing smoke? He said, this isn't a two-man show, and I'm the alpha. Rhodes then reminded Rollins they've had 3 matches together. And, well, Cody's won them all. Rhodes peered over at the Vision and asked if it would be the case again come Perth and Crown Jewel. Rhodes concluded with the question, quote, in the 3 matches that we've had, Seth Rollins, how many of those have you won? Cody left the ring. The Vision cleared a path for him to walk up the ramp, and Seth had that look on his face like, ooh, this fucker. Ooh, this fucker. So, yeah. Good opening promo from Seth and Cody to hype up their match at Crown Jewel. And as much as I liked Cody and Gunther last year at Crown Jewel, this feels bigger. This feels more like, top 2 guys, the champion versus the champion, the best versus the best. No, Raw was not a sellout, GTA. And there was no report that it didn't sell out. It's just we knew it didn't sell out because there were still tickets available. So in the back, Jimmy Uso met with Jey. Jimmy said that their loss was trash because Jimmy said that their loss was trash because he knew they could beat the Bronze. Jimmy went to Adam Pearce and requested a match, only to learn that Jey was already busy tonight because he asked for a match with LA Knight. Jey, super heated and hot, said that he would have won. They would have won if it wasn't for LA Knight being the damn referee. Jey is also pissed about Jimmy tagging with Knight last week. Oh, and losing. Jimmy asked if he was being blamed for their loss. Jey said, settle down now. That's not what I'm saying. But the plan is to beat LA Knight tonight. So we're seeing the heel turn, I think, of Jey Uso. Also, we'll talk about it when we get to it later, but Jey was eyeing that WWE title. Jey wants Cody's belt. He said, I'm going to get back to the top. He didn't say I'm going to get back my World Heavyweight Championship. He didn't say I'm going to go for the World Heavyweight Championship. Jey told Cody, don't worry, I'll get back to the top. And he was just sitting there. We'll talk about it, though. We'll get there when we get there a little bit later. Excuse me, Jordan? Cody versus Randy Orton? No, it wasn't. Tell me when Randy Orton has been the world champion. Tell me the last time Randy Orton was the world champion. In the first ever men's Crown Jewel Championship match, it was Cody Rhodes and Gunther. You're thinking the finals of King of the Ring, brother. Cody and Randy in Saudi was earlier this summer King of the Ring, not Crown Jewel Championship match. So don't try to correct me when you gotta be corrected yourself. So moving forward, but a no disqualification 6-man tag team match: the New Day and Grayson Waller versus the War Raiders and Penta. I mean, it was a fun, solid match. Nothing special, though, if I'm going to be completely honest. So Woods wore the gigantic black hat from a few weeks ago, and then all 3 heels had the gigantic black hat. They all put it on during the break, and then the baby faces, they did a dumb spot where all the heels had the big black hats on, like the big one with the tassels and everything. And they were like posing in the ring and whatnot. And they turned around and boom, 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 boom. They all got knocked down by the heels or the baby faces. And the baby faces all put the hat on and they were doing the Penta Surfer walk. They turn around, boom, 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 boom. They take all shots from the heels. It was like, whatever. But at one point, Kofi Kingston hit Penta with a diving leg drop off the top turnbuckle through a table on the outside that the cameraman completely missed because Woods was in the way. But luckily, right on the other side, they had another cameraman, so they showed us a clean shot in the replay. Eric then brought both members of the New Day by himself off the ropes, and Ivar went for a moonsault, but the New Day dodged it. Penta avoided going through a corner table and instead suplexed Kingston through it. Waller cracked a kendo stick over Penta's back, but Penta fought him off and hit an avalanche Canadian destroyer for the pinfall victory. So the baby faces pick up the win and get the victory. Manuel says, I like the Kyle F. and Bush hat. Oh, trust me, I got plenty. We got another 8 hat there. We got a 18 championship. We got another 18 hat there. We got another 18 hat there. And I got plenty more Kyle Busch 18 hats in a box. M&M's, and I think I got a Skittles one. I can't remember, but yeah. No. Because my two favorite drivers of all time, Jeff Gordon, Kyle Busch. And who do I have the most hats of? Jeff Gordon, Kyle Busch. But moving forward, baby faces pick up the win. About a 10-minute match. Like I said, it was fine. Wasn't anything special. And it went, I think, exactly as long as it should have. 10 minutes was perfect for this match. So Dominic approached the Judgment Day backstage. He said he wanted their help with Rusev, but Finn and JD weren't really interested. Balor wondered why you didn't go to El Grande Americano and ask him for help, huh, Dom? Dom said that he wasn't back from Mexico. Balor then claimed that he was busy and began doing something, looked like he was playing 2K on a Switch 2 or something. Roxanne, Perez, and Raquel Rodriguez talked to JD McDonagh into helping Dom and said, hey, go ask Adam Pearce. Maybe you can have a match with Rusev tonight. He's like, oh, yeah, I can help you out, Dom. Sure. And then things got a little weird. And Raquel was just like, Roxanne here's got a match with Bayley. We got to get her ready for that. Let's go. And they just left. That was kind of weird. But yeah, basically they told us it's going to be JD McDonagh versus Rusev later. Let's ban this person in the chat for spam. There we go. So Bayley meets with Lyra Valkyria in the back. She's wearing CM Punk's AJ's husband jacket. And Lyra's like, hey, Bayley, good to see you. I want to apologize for last week. I shouldn't have just barged into your locker room. And Bayley's like, no. I wanted to apologize to you and say, I'm sorry for calling you an idiot last week. Bayley was all smiles and said that she didn't know what Valkyria was talking about and stuff. And then Bayley said, hey, I got to take on Judgment Day. Roxanne, Perez, would you like to be in my corner tonight? Maybe assist me if I need it. And Lyra was like, sure, okay. Like, not really confident that she should be helping Bayley, but sure, why not? She helped Bayley. During a break, I didn't really catch much of this, but like Byron Saxton interviewed Paul Heyman. He just talked about Crown Jewel and cut a promo on behalf of Rollins, hyping up Crown Jewel. Then we got Stephanie Vaquer. Adam Pearce is in the ring, and he calls her down. The new women's world champion. And like the crowd was into it when she came out. The crowd was into it when she finished, but they weren't into her promo itself. It was a mix of English and Spanish, and it was kind of just there. It was really just there to say, hey, you are going to represent Raw and the World Heavyweight Championship at Crown Jewel and face the winner of SmackDown's triple threat this week, whoever comes out WWE Women's Champion. So Pearce congratulated her on winning the title at WrestlePalooza. Vaquer then called this a dream come true. She said at times it seemed impossible, but she worked hard for it and accomplished it. She beat one of the best in Io Sky, and her dad was there to see it, and he is her inspiration. They kept showing her dad at ringside as well. He was there with her again tonight. Vaquer said that the championship represents the motivation and support that the fans have given her. They celebrated her, and they celebrated her win and with her at WrestlePalooza. She thanked them. Vaquer then said that her fire will do nothing more than keep making history, and nobody can stop her. This is when Pearce then said, hey, Tiffany's defending her title this Friday. The winner of that match will face you at Crown Jewel. So you will be facing at Crown Jewel either Jade, Nia, or Tiffany if she successfully retains, which that's a tough one. I think it could be Tiffany retaining, and then we do Tiffany versus Stephanie at Crown Jewel. Killa, thank you for the super chat. He says going to Raw next week. Pumped up. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Should be a lot of fun. Raw's usually a good show. I've only ever been to one Raw. I've been to like 3 SmackDowns, bunch of house shows, 1 Raw. And then, of course, I went to Mania 31, but Actually, is that that's the only pay-per-view I've ever been to for WWE? Trying to think. Yeah. Mania 31 was the only WWE pay-per-view I've been to. Like I said, I've been to four SmackDowns because I went to one in 2006, one in 2007. I went to the SmackDown after I went to the SmackDown after WrestleMania 31, and then I went to one in 2018. It was the night where, and I was sitting front row for this one. It was the night where I want to say it was Owens put the chair over Jericho's head and then smashed him into the turnbuckle to ride him off TV. If you go back and rewatch that segment, you can literally see me right in camera angle too, because I'm like where the barricade comes down the ramp and then turns. I'm right there, like the corner almost, like right there. Only, well, yeah, no, it's the only time I've ever sat in front row at a wrestling show. I was trying to think where I sat the SmackDown after Mania 31, and like it feels like I was kind of like a front row, but it was more like there's floor, and then I was the first row, not floor. That's what it was. Because I went to WrestleMania 31 with friends, and then my son kept saying, I want to go to WrestleMania. I want to go to WrestleMania. I was like, you're not going to WrestleMania. But SmackDown after was in Fresno, so I'm like, I'll take you to that. So we went to the SmackDown right after. And he was only what? 4. So he was telling all his friends at school, I went to WrestleMania. He didn't know the difference when he was 4. Anyways, Stephanie then poses with her belt and a bunch of pyro goes off. It was an okay segment, but it's like, I don't know. I just don't really know. Like, the crowd was kind of dead for the promo, especially because she was going back and forth between English and Spanish. And then, like, they popped when she came out, and they popped after her pyro, and that was about it. So, and for those reports, I don't remember where it came from. It may have been Meltzer, that one of the reasons WWE wasn't happy with Andrade is because his English wasn't getting better. It's like, well, Andrade speaks better English than Io, Stephanie, probably Asuka, and Kairi. Trying to think, is Andrade's English better than Penta or about equal to Penta? I think maybe about equal to Penta's English. So then we go to the back, and Nikki Bella walks up to Stephanie. Oh, congratulations. And then Ria comes up and congratulates her. And I'm like, what is their infatuation of always having Nikki Bella around with Stephanie? Like that one time she called her my girl. Stephanie's my girl. And now they got to like link them up any way they can in segments. It's like, no. Because like, even, what's the word I'm saying? Well, even here in a minute, Stephanie walks off. Asuka's talking shit. And Nikki's kind of like, hey, don't disrespect Stephanie. And I'm like, okay, you don't got to speak for her. Her English may not be perfect, but you don't got to speak for her. We don't need Nikki Bella, of all people, standing up for Stephanie if it care. Who Nikki Bella's been doing this for, what, 15 years? And Stephanie's leaps and bounds better than Nikki? Like, when did Nikki Bella start wrestling? Nikki Bella started wrestling in 2007. Stephanie Vicure started wrestling in 2009. What the fuck? I didn't realize she's been around that long. She's been wrestling since 2009? How old is she? 32? Damn. Stephanie been wrestling way longer than I expected. I thought I was going to say like 2015, 2016 or something. She's been wrestling for 16 years. 2009. She's been wrestling only, okay, shit. 2 years less than Nikki Bella. So hold on. I'm going to read this on her wiki really fast. It says Victoria became a professional wrestler at the age of 15 in 2009. She first wrestled in Chile under the name Dark Angel. At the age of 19, she moved to Mexico where she trained under Ricky Marvin, Ultimo Guerrero. So, like, she started in 2009, but didn't do a lot really till 2019 is what it looks like. It says in mid-2018, She made her debut in Japan, wrestling 5 matches for Stardom. Later that year, she had a tryout with WWE. Okay. Interesting. And then she went back and started wrestling for CMLL in 2019. Because that's when I first heard of her. It was like 2019, 2020 was the first time I heard of Stephanie Vicaire. That's why I was like, okay, maybe she started in like 16, 17 or whatever. And yeah, so, I did not realize she's been wrestling that long. Holy crud. But yeah, basically, Asuka was talking shit. Ria then said, you know what? I'm tired of this, Asuka. You disrespecting everybody. How about you and me? We go fight in the ring tonight. And Asuka's like, oh, yeah, you want to fight? Let's go. Let's do it. So, yeah, crowd popped when when Asuka accepted. So moving forward, we had Bayley versus Roxanne Perez. Match was fine. The crowd was into it. They really liked the match. And I thought these two worked very well together. Again, Roxanne just works really good with most of the women on this roster, which is a testament to her being as good as she is. Barrett noted that Perez was tied with Knight for most matches in WWE so far in 2015. I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. I mean, she does wrestle a lot. So Bayley was in control early on. And she went to the middle rope at one point, but got distracted. She kind of distracted herself, just looking down at Raquel at ringside. Perez then kicked her leg out and took control during a break. Rodriguez then also went for a cheap shot during the break as well. Bayley then fought back after the break, but Perez cut her off. Perez went for a suicide dive, but Bayley blocked it with a forearm. Perez then fought off Bayley and hit a pop rocks outside of the ring, and then Bayley barely made it in before the 10 count. Rodriguez then booted Bayley as Perez distracted the referee in the ring. This led to Lyra, who was also at ringside, going after Raquel. She drove her into the post. I wrote dove her into the post. That's what confused me. She drove her into the ring post. Perez then wiped out Valkyria with a suicide dive. This then caused Bayley to kind of go crazy, grab Roxanne because Roxanne's standing at ringside. She grabbed her by the hair and yoinked her up into the ring. She grabbed her, hit her with a Bayley to belly, hit her with a running, I think it was a boot, maybe a knee to the face. Then she grabbed her, took way too long to set up and hit the Rose plant, and then pinned her 1, 2, 3. Not a big fan of the Rose plant. Just do the Bayley to belly. I get it. When she's bad guy Bayley, she does nothing that hugger Bayley did. Also, I need to go check on shop. Bayley was wearing a new shirt tonight. Instead of saying I'm a hugger, it says I'm a role model. I want to go check if that's a new, shirt you can buy on shop. Also, they have new Stephanie Vicaire shirts. Basically, new Women's World Champion. And then there is speaking of Stephanie's, there is a Stephanie McMahon Hall of Fame shirt already available. Ooh, got new Kabuki Warriors shirts. But let me see really fast. Bayley. Let's look for Bayley. So I don't know why I'm not just showing this on screen. Let's see. Do we have the new Bayley, like the one she was wearing tonight? The purple one. It says I'm a role model, because I felt like I saw people in the crowd wearing it. Not top seller. Newest item. Hold on. Newest item. Not available yet. No, I don't see it. Let me see something really fast. Let's go. Maybe they posted it. Let's see. Bayley. Role model shirt. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see it. It'd be a cool shirt to get. Oh, wait, here we go. Wait, this is not new? Oh, I see here from February 20th, people were posting about it. I've just never noticed it before. Okay, the girl in the crowd was wearing a I'm a hugger shirt. That's what it is. So wait, let's go back to shop really fast and see if maybe it's there, but just older. Hold on. Because I've never seen that shirt before. Yeah, I don't see. Oh, yeah, here it is. Never mind. It is a thing. It is a thing. Okay. Huh. It is a thing. I've just never seen that shirt before. Okay. Interesting. It is currently on sale with code PINFALL 2624. Well. Moving forward, after the match, Lyra got in the ring and was all pumped up, and she went to go give Bayley a hug, and Bayley shoves her down. Bayley suddenly had no interest in Lyra, yelling at her. And then Bayley's doing the whole, I'm crazy. I don't know, kind of thing. And yeah, Lyra was just like, whoa, oh, what was that? Oh, okay then, sure. Elite, that's for both nights. 9,000 for front row if you're going both nights. So when you think about that, 2 nights, 2 tickets, not too bad, I guess. I mean, yes, it's expensive, but a lot of people didn't pay attention to what was actually being put out today and thinking there was 9,000 for one night. It's 9,000 for both nights. So it's really 4,500 per night to sit front row at WrestleMania. And then I think that's section A. Section B or 1B or something like that is what it said was for both nights. I want to say like 3,500. So that's like a little over 1,500 each. I want to say something like that. I have to look more into it. So moving forward, Jimmy congratulated Cody in the back on his big win at WrestlePalooza. He's like, hey, good to see you get the W. And Cody's like, yep, got the W. He's like, hey, but how's your brother doing? How's Jey? And Jimmy's like, man, you know, Jey gets in his own head sometimes and he just won't listen. You know, maybe you can talk to him, Cody. Maybe you can talk to him and see what's up. So Cody does approach Jey, and he sits down next to him, and he puts the WWE Championship kind of between them. Rhodes said that, hey, Jimmy's a little worried. And Jay's like, yeah, Big Jim just tripping. It's all good. I'm fine. I'm going to be good. Don't worry, Cody. And Cody's like, all right. I know, but just know. Sometimes we have our lows. I know what that feels like. We have our highs. We have our lows. We have our wins. We have our losses. But no, you know, you've got family. You got your fans. You've got your friends. And we believe in you. And as Cody's just sitting there, you know, talking, we believe in you. Jay's just sitting there going like this, looking right here at that title, looking down, just looking down and over. And then when Cody says, we believe in you, he kind of just looks back up like, yeah, I understand. I get it. I get it. And that's when he's like, hey, I'm going to get back. I'm going to get back to the top. Don't worry about me. It's all good. I'm going to find my way back to the top, Cody. So Cody grabs his belt and he leaves. They're teasing Cody versus Jey for the WWE Championship. I don't know when this could happen. I don't know how long they're going to tease this for and if it even does happen. But they're already slightly planting them seeds of, hey, Jey wants back at the top. Didn't say I want the world title. Just said I'm going to find my way back to the top. And he was staring at that WWE Championship. So, yeah, dang. Elite, what are you talking about? 90K? 90K what? He says 90K is effing crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. So moving forward, we had Rusev versus JD McDonagh. Fun little match. Nice, simple 10-minute match. So Rusev was in complete control early on. He kept looking down at Dom. Hey, boy, I'm going to get my title. Boy, you've got my Intercontinental title. He just kept yelling at Dom the whole time. Yeah, boy. You know what, boy? And I'm just sitting here going, I want Rusev to play Kratos. The way he was yelling boy at fucking Dom throughout this match. Make him our live action Kratos. You know what, boy? I saw a thing so funny. So you know how like the big thing on social media now is like we do it and Fightful does and everybody does like the graphic with the headline and just the image, and then there's more news either in the comments or you go to the website or whatever. Well, now people are starting to make those with fake news. And one of them said, Christopher Judge is currently in talks to play the live action Kratos. Well, Christopher Judge retweets it and goes, I am, ? Basically debunking the fake news. Funny as shit. But Rusev was completely in control early on in this match until McDonagh. Basically, McDonagh was thrown to the outside. He was thrown around the ring a while, thrown to the outside, thrown into the steel steps, but he jumped over the steel steps. Rusev then walked over towards him, but McDonagh drop kicked the steel steps into the legs of Rusev to kind of hurt the big man. He jumped up on the apron. Big old penalty kick to the back. And then I think he lands a moonsault for a 2 as we go to a break. McDonagh hit Rusev at one point with multiple clotheslines, but he couldn't knock the big man down. Rusev then nailed him with a body slam and a machka kick. Rusev applied the accolade, but Dom hopped up on the apron. Dom considered breaking it up, but didn't want to get involved. So then McDonagh tapped out. Rusev wouldn't let go. So Dom just kind of stood there and watched until Finn would run out and gave Rusev a reverse DDT to help his old boy, his, tag team championship partner. And then before Rusev could get up, Judgment Day escaped while Balor admonished Dom, basically saying, hey, what the hell was that? Why are you just going to watch and not help? JD's out here trying to soften him up for you. And you're just going to let JD get hurt? Like, Dom was getting scolded by Finn. Finn was pissed. So, in the back, Io Sky approaches Asuka and Kairi Sane. But Asuka didn't want advice. Somebody who lost. And Asuka left. Basically, Io was like, well, Asuka, you don't need to do this. What is going on with you? And then Sane was kind of just like, I don't know what's going on. This is crazy. And da-da-da-da. But she told Io, Asuka has her reasons on why she does what she does. And we just have to listen to her. Basically saying Asuka knows best. We have to listen to Asuka because Asuka will lead us to the right path. Basically what she's saying. Jackie Redmond interviewed LA Knight. Knight question. Knight's question was taking too long to get out, so Knight cut her off. Basically, she was like, trying to ask him a question, but couldn't. I don't know. It was weird. Knight then said Jey should be more worried about his own health and fighting him. Knight was only checking on Jey's well-being during the WrestlePalooza match before he got speared through a table. Knight wasn't trying to hurt Jey or anything, but tonight he's going to. And Jey might have brained himself on Saturday, but if he hadn't, Knight is going to do it tonight with the BFT. So then that leads us to our main event match, Jey Uso versus LA Knight. But before we get to that, let's hear from our sponsor. Let's be real. Life moves fast and dinner shouldn't slow you down. That's where Factor comes in. Factor 75 delivers fresh, never frozen meals straight to your door so you can skip the grocery store, the prep, and the cleanup. Just heat and eat and get back to crushing your day. Whether you're keto, calorie conscious, or just want to eat clean without sacrificing flavor, Factor has chef-crafted options that actually taste like real food. Maybe you want pancakes for breakfast, chicken for lunch, and a steak for dinner. Factor has you covered. And here's the kicker. These meals are ready to go in just 2 minutes. That's less time it takes to scroll through your delivery app and regret your choices. So if you want to fuel your hustle without any hassle, then sign up for a Factor 75 subscription today. Use our code below, scan the QR code on the screen, or use our link in the description to get 50% off your order. Eat smart, live fully with Factor. And we're back. Jey Uso, LA Knight, main event. Match goes only like 8.5 minutes. Kind of a shorter match, but I thought it was really good. I thought it was good, and it did a lot. Like, it set some stuff up. Oh, also, 3 things announced for next week's show. Forgot to mention that. They're basically saying it's no DQ, but it's tornado tag team match. Because, like, they're like, yeah, we got a tornado tag team match. And they're showing, like, all these weapons and an ambulance and then, like, sirens in the graphic and everything. It's a rematch from WrestlePalooza. It's the Usos versus the Vision, Braun and Braun. We also do have the Intercontinental Championship on the line next week when Dom defends against Rusev, where also there was during the commercial break interview where Penta said, Dominic Mysterio, I'm coming after you in the IC title. So we'll see how that plays out. And then we also have Bayley versus Raquel next week as well. As far as this match does go, Jey wore all black with white sneakers. He did his full entrance. Knight did his entrance, but he was jumped from the middle rope. Jey punched him before the match actually started. The ref called for the bell to begin. Jey was all over Knight early on until Knight cut him off with a neck breaker. Jey avoided a baseball slide and clotheslined Knight to regain control during a break. After the break, Knight scaled the ropes to bring Jey down with a superplex. They traded strikes until Knight ducked one and hit a reverse DVD for a 2. Jey followed later with a suicide dive and a super kick for a 2. Knight responded with a DDT and a flying elbow for a 2. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed would hit the ring and try to get in the ring. So Knight attacked both of them before they could enter the ring. The referee kind of just watched, didn't do much, which is weird. When Knight got back into the ring, he ran right into a spear from Jey Uso. Jey then followed this up with a splash and a pinfall victory. Also, I'm wrong. This isn't the main event. What am I thinking of? We haven't even done Ria and Asuka yet. I'm dumb. This isn't the main event. Sorry. I wasn't thinking. But yeah, so Jey spears them and pins LA Knight. But then Braun and Bronson try to hit the ring when Jimmy comes down with a steel chair. Paul Heyman's like, hey, well, we don't need to do that. Get out. Let's go. So Heyman backs his guys off and they leave. So again, next week we will have the Tornado Tag Team match. Usos versus Braun and Bronson yet again. This is a really good match. And Jey Uso and LA Knight worked very well together. Like, these two were like very good partners. Like, not partners, but you know what I mean? Like, they worked well in their match together. They did great together. So the only time we really saw Becky on this show, this is weird. Like, no Punk, no AJ. At least that I noticed. I didn't see them. They were there because Punk posted a picture, a selfie of himself with Roxanne, Ria, and AJ all in the background together. Anyways, Becky's so they're in the Visions locker room basically. And Becky's pacing, just walking back and forth, just ranting about just random ass shit basically. She's like, you know, yeah, we lost, but I'm still the best women's wrestler in the world. And it's not just me saying it. Sports Illustrated says it, and Bleacher Report says it, and ESPN says it, and and she's just going on and on and on like a crazy person. And Seth's just sitting there with the watch in his hand, right? And he's just like staring at this watch. Staring at the watch. Staring at the watch. Like, these two are losing their minds. Crazy. Crazy. So Io approaches Rhea in the back. And she's like, hey, Rhea. And Rhea goes, whoa, whoa, Io. Are we even supposed to be together? This is such a weird storyline. It's like when... Oh, wow. What movie is that I'm thinking of? There was a movie back in the day where it's like... a guy's got a friend that's a girl... But his girlfriend says you can't hang out with that guy no more. So like sneak around to still be friends. And so like Rhea was like, Io, are we even supposed to be together? Are we even allowed to be around one another? And Io's like, Rhea, please cancel the match with Asuka. You don't need to do this. You don't need to fight her. And Rhea's like, Io, I understand. You and Asuka, you're close. But I'm sick of Asuka being disrespectful to everybody. So maybe I could do what we did. Beat the respect into each other. And she's like, and I don't want to have to tell you this, but Asuka's not good for you. She's like, but Asuka's family. I got to be there for Asuka. Asuka's there for me. And Rhea's like, I know about family. And family not actually really being there for you. Take my word for it. Trust me. And he was just like, but I got to go with Asuka. And then she walks off, and yeah. So, as I saw later, holy shit. Get to that, because that was freaking crazy. But, yeah. Rhea's basically like, hey, you can't trust Asuka. because the first chance that she gets to turn on you when she feels like you're not worthy or needed anymore, she gonna dump you. And we saw that at the end of the show. So we got a video package for Los Americanos. Basically, all 3 Americanos are now called Los Americanos. And oh my God, did they use so much AI in this to make this video? Wildly crazy. So much AI was in this video. I don't know what the hell this video was, other than there's just a bunch of AI being used. So Maxine Dupree is in the back with Adam Pearce. And she's just like, you know, Adam, I've been training and I've been working really hard. And I just want some opportunities. I want an opportunity to go out there and show myself in the ring. And Adam's like, understand. Keep doing what you're doing. And I'm looking to find the right opportunity for you. But until I do, no, I'm looking. And I'm going to find that right opponent for you. It's like, what? What? Okay, then. Sure. Whatever. This was awkward and weird. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee then come in. And AJ's like, hey, Pierce, we want them Americanos. Every time we see El Grande, there's another one popping up. So how about we take them all out? And Dragon Lee's like, I want to fight them for the integrity of all luchadors and lucha libre. And Adam Pearce is like, you know what? I feel it. I understand where you're coming from. Let me talk to the Americanos, and I'll see what we can come up with. But the match basically official. And AJ goes, good. And hey, Pierce, don't sign any more of these Americanos for a while. I'm like, what the fuck? Don't sign any more of these Americanos for a while. Okay, AJ. Sure. So then we have our main event. I was wrong. The LA Knight Jey Uso match wasn't the main event. This is our main event. It went, how long did this match go? 17 and a half minutes. And it was really good. It was really good. It was Ria Ripley versus Asuka. This is the first match that they've had together since December of 2022. Yeah. Think about that. Also, think about this one. They've had like, what, 2-3 matches together. They had that Tampa Mania where Rhea beat Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. Asuka's never beat Rhea, and she didn't tonight. So Asuka was in control early on, targeting the leg of Rhea Ripley, but Rhea came back with a clothesline, a thrust kick, a drop kick, and a Northern Lights suplex for her too. Clean Northern Lights too, and that looked good. Asuka one point avoided a Rager's Edge, drop kick to the leg, and hit a sliding kick for her too. Ripley responded with a boot and a cannonball off the apron. We went to a break here. Ripley then maintained control through the break and into superplex, where, oh my God, she hit this superplex, but like, instead of leaping, I guess you would say, off the top rope, she kind of just fell back. So her legs were still kind of up and her body angled in a way where instead of landing flat like you should off a superplex, she landed right on the top of her like shoulder blades. Oh, it looked like it probably hurt because her neck kind of crunched up a little too. Where was I though? Yeah, she jackknifed herself. She went for the pin, got it too. A Ripley then hit a thrust kick, a Razor's Edge, and a Shining Wizard for a 2. Asuka went for an armbar, and Ripley managed to escape. Ripley missed a charge and collided with the turnbuckle at one point, and Asuka followed with a kick to the head. Asuka then knocked Ripley out of the ring and bounced her head off the announce table. Asuka said something to Kyrie before getting back in the ring. Ripley then tried another kick, but Asuka caught her in a leg lock. Asuka tried getting to her feet. Ripley tried getting to her feet, so Asuka nailed her with a German suplex. Asuka came off the top, but Ripley nailed her midair with a drop kick. Looked like to the face. This got a "This is awesome" chant from the crowd. Asuka then shouted some more orders to Kairi Sane, who reluctantly jumped up on the apron to try and like do a back fist to Ripley. She went for that back fist. Ripley blocked it. Asuka went for a running hip attack, and Rhea moved, and she knocked Kyrie off the apron. Asuka was all like, oh my God, what just happened? Oh, crap. And so Rhea grabbed her from behind, rolled her up, cradled her, 1, 2, 3. Rhea once again defeats Asuka. Asuka cannot beat Rhea. That's the thing. Asuka can't beat Rhea. So the match is over. They both get to their feet, and Asuka's all pissed off, and so blows the misc. the mist right in Rhea's face, but not just her face. It's all over her upper body, her arms, her chest, everything covered in dark green. Asuka then goes, Kairi, yeah, get her. And so this looks so bad. Kairi jumps her, but she's throwing like the worst of punches. Everyone's shitting on AJ Lee's strikes from the WrestlePalooza show. This was worse. This was worse. Also, you have to remember with that, I'm going to veer off track here for a second. So many people on social media talking shit about AJ Lee's strikes, right? And, you know, her Mongolian chops and all of that during the match with Seth and Becky. But you have to think, when was AJ trained and when did she come up in WWE? In an era where they were telling women not to use strikes at all. In an era where I think it was Michelle McCool and Victoria, maybe it was. It could have been somebody else, I'm not sure. Had a match that they had to redo at a SmackDown taping because Michael Hayes said, your strikes were better than any of the men's matches we had, and we can't air that on TV. Go do the match again. Yeah. So AJ comes from a time where they were kind of told not to do strikes and not taught how to properly strike. Now, I get what you're saying. Oh, she could have learned in time. Maybe. But, yeah, crazy shit. So, anyways, Kairi's beating on Rhea. When Io comes out, Io runs down to the ring. They stop what they're doing, and Io's like, Asuka, stop. Kairi, what are you doing? No, don't do this. And Asuka, you know, Asuka's like just kind of standing there. Kairi's kind of just standing there. Asuka looks like she's crying. She goes to hug Io. And then Asuka suddenly drops her with a spinning back fist, and the crowd boos heavily. Asuka then tells Kairi, get her. So she's wailing on her, but not really wanting to wail. So these strikes look bad. And maybe the strikes from Kairi looked bad because she was trying not to actually hurt Rhea or Io, especially Io. And so Rhea tries to get to her feet. Asuka knocks her out, and they're talking about how, you know, Rhea can't see. Asuka then grabs Io and puts her in like a inverted DDT position. She tells Kairi, go to top. Go to the top. Kairi goes up top. She jumps off, hits the elbow, drops her with the DDT, and the crowd's booing like crazy as Asuka with Kairi are standing tall. But Kairi didn't want to do it. But she's loyal to Asuka, so whatever Asuka says goes, basically. So we'll see what this leads to. I assume it's going to be Kabuki Warriors versus Io and Rhea. Maybe at Crown Jewel, I don't know. Maybe on a Raw upcoming, but we'll have to wait and see. But it looks like that is the route that we're going to. Asuka's now a full heel. Like, we've seen the heel turn already. We know Asuka was going heel, but this here solidified. Oh yeah, there's no turning back now. Asuka's a goddamn heel. The big question is, how long does Kairi stay loyal, though? That's the big question. But Raw, I thought this was a really good Monday Night Raw. Easy to watch, flowed very well, and sped on by. Did not feel like an hour or 2.5 hours. But with that, you know what I thought of the show. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw. So as we go and refresh the polls here. Did I really not do a community poll? I thought I did. Well, hold on. Nope, we did not do a community poll. My bad. But we do have the threads poll. We do have the... Here we go. So as far as the threads poll does go, 58% liked the show, 38% thought it was just all right, and 4% didn't like it. Looking at the Twitter X poll, 78% liked the show, 17% thought it was just all right, and 4% didn't like it. Looking at the live poll, 79% liked the show, 15% thought it was just all right, and 6% didn't like it. Finally, over on Twitch, 67% liked the show, 33% thought it was just all right. Well, with that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, we'll be back live, not after AEW Dynamite, but during AEW Dynamite this week for a watch-along game stream where we're going to play we're going to start a gameplay playthrough of either Spider-Man 2, Last of Us 2, or Uncharted 4. I'm going to put up a poll tomorrow, and we'll see what we play. But with that, guys, have a great rest of your Monday night. Have a great rest of your week. and I'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys. All right, if you're still watching live on Twitch, we're going to hit up a raid really fast.